Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 2025 NXL action here on E3. You're about to watch New York Wrecking Crew take on Nasty. I am Matt Falby, and we are off. New York Wrecking Crew on your right, Nasty on your left. New York Wrecking Crew coming in 2-0 on the weekend so far. They're going to lose their first player out of the backhand. Looks like we are on a 5-on-4 situation, advantage Nasty. 5-on-3 situation already, advantage Nasty. Nasty's coming in 1-1 so far for the weekend. Wrecking Crew has a decent situation here, at least trying to hold off a 5-on-3. They've got the Snake Rito, the inside Snake Wedge, and that mini temple over on the Dorito side. Reyes, number 11 in the inside wedge, is extremely important for slowing down that push up the middle. Here's the first beginning of a push up the middle for Nasty. They're into the mini brick. Now down the Dorito side. It's going to be a bunkering clean. Oh, I believe he got shot by his own man, though. He clean bunkered Barker out, but unfortunately, I think he took a few from his teammate. That leaves one Wrecking Crew player left alive. He's going to dive into the Snake Rito. It's not a bad choice. Probably the best place to defend himself. He's actually going to launch. Reyes doesn't care. He's going to run right into a gun. He's going to die on their bayonets. I respect that from Reyes. Either he didn't know the body situation or he knew the body situation and just didn't care. All right. First point, assuming a clean hang, first point is going to go to Nasty. All right. After this match, you're going to watch Pittsburgh Macedon versus Armada and Los Angeles Collision versus Denver Altitude. On the backside of this match, we're about to watch New Jersey Jesters versus NYX. Jesters coming in 2-0 yesterday, and NYX coming in 0-2. With a win here, Jesters put themselves in an almost certain playoff situation, and with a win here, NYX can claw back into contention. They probably need 2 wins today to get back into the playoffs, and then it will probably rely on a tiebreaker situation. Jersey on your left. They're in the brown and black jerseys. NYX on your right. NYX, a long-standing organization of the paintball scene. Here we go. Looks like we're 5 alive for both teams. Both teams go up the middle to the brick, which is something you're going to see a lot of on this field as a breakout. Jesters followed up, getting to that inside snake wedge. And now with the snake, Jesters being a bit more aggressive here. Oh, that is not a good start for NYX. They're going to get a minor over on the Dorito side, lose their entire Dorito. So it looks like their Snake Rito player got caught doing something the refs didn't like. Immediate fill out from home to the can for NYX trying to stabilize that Snake side. I suspect we're about to see a bunkering at that middle brick. There it is. So trade out. That's a fine trade out for NYX. They are up on bodies. Sorry, for Jesters. They are up on bodies. They don't mind that one. All right, there it is. The NYX coach has seen enough. He's going to towel out of that one. First point going to Jesters. Good start to their morning. All right, we'd like to thank one of our sponsors. That is Carbon. Carbon is here this weekend. If you get a chance, check out their booth. They've got some great team programs if you're looking for a sponsorship. And also they're coming out soon this fall with a new DRV loader. We got a look at it yesterday with Brent from Carbon. It has been in development for years. They're determined to make sure that this launch goes well. So pre-orders? I don't know. Carbon, you doing pre-orders? All right, we're going back to Nasty versus New York Wrecking Crew. Nasty up by 1 point. Great start for them. Nasty's going to lose their player going to the snake. Great shooting from the double up at home for New York Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew reacts by getting up to that middle brick at the same time. While body's peeling off here for Nasty, they're going to lose their middle brick. That's vital at slowing down that snake side. Frankly, that middle brick can hold back either side, but the Dorito side has not really been the push side predominantly on this field. So you're going to see players going with the middle brick and probably staying on their opponent's snake side. Nasty into Snake 2. He's wrapping. Unfortunately for Nasty, they are looking straight into the sun here in the 8 a.m. game. It does absolutely play a role. We are seeing what we kind of see on this field, which is a typical game on this field is an early exchange, a few kills, maybe on the run out, maybe on some sloppy fills, and then this field tends to settle down. It enters like a slow lull period in the middle there where teams are trying to lock it down and figure out how to get past that lockdown. Then you go up by a few bodies and then you launch your finishing move. That is your prototypical game on this layout. Nasty getting a lot of checks, but being called clean. Nasty in the Dorito corner, which is that mini brick. The home, which is a mini temple, and now up in the Snake Dorito, also known as colloquially as the Snake Rito. This is Wes Buell up here in the Snake Rito for Nasty. Peeling a player off, unfortunately gets peeled off himself. All right, the attack is on, like we talked about from Wrecking Crew. After that little lull, get up a couple bodies, then start launching. Wrecking Crew is cross the middle. They're going to drop and crawl this snake beam to the other team's inside wedge. This is a backbreaker if they don't see you get there. Now he's going to just keep going, go to their S2. He's going to wrap. That home player thinks he's filling is just going to get destroyed. And that is it. That is a walk-in victory here for New York Wrecking Crew. They're going to tie it up 1-1. I don't want to overstate this. It's possible that we just saw both teams lose when looking into the sun. All right, rolling back out on the field, you got New Jersey Jesters versus NYX. Jesters up by 1 point. Thank you to another one of our sponsors, Alabama Paintball. If you're in that region, check them out. They got 3 different fields that you can attend. 3 different fields kind of made specifically for 3 different types of players. Either newer players at one field, you've got private rental groups on another, and then the third field is more for mixed use advanced players. So if you're in that area, check out alabamapaintball.com. All right, let's see if the trend continues. NYX is staring right into the sun for the breakout here. On your left. Now NYX runs right into a gun going up the middle of that brick. That's a big kill. That's a great control bunker, that middle brick, and they've been denied it. Jesters respond by taking the brick themselves. Oh, they're going to lose their home player for NYX. Jesters now looking dominant. 5-on-3. Some small good news for NYX. At least they're in a good spread. They can kind of control the lanes, trying to run through lanes. So at some point, I believe you're going to see this middle brick for Jesters cross over to the other team's brick. As a matter of fact, here it goes. It's kill hunting. Really, there's nothing stopping them from dropping and crawling and finishing this game out. Cannon's going to drop for NYX, leaving 2 players left alive. They're crossed up. There he goes. He might as well commit to getting to that wedge, give himself some protection if that player comes back on him. Gets the kill, unaware of how close he is to the last NYX player. Now he knows. As a reward, he gets shot by his own team. We've seen a bit of that this morning so far. Actually, give credit to that Jester player who was very kind about that last bunkering. He put literally 1 ball on him. Good show of sportsmanship. All right. Thank you to another one of our sponsors, BKI Paintball. They have a lot of online video resources if you want to become a better player, and you can attend their summer camp to get coached by actual pros. All right, we're launching New York Wrecking Crew versus Nasty, all tied up. Running ref coming into New York Wrecking Crew's mini wall. Unfortunately, players peeling off for Nasty. Only a couple players left for Nasty. They're in the can, and they're at home. They do manage to take out number 25 for New York Wrecking Crew from the Snake. Wrecking Crew middle brick becoming really daring. He's crossing over the beam, pulls back. Yep, good move to the other team's brick. That's a safe move at this point. Unlike most layouts on this field, you're going to see a lot of movement straight up the middle. It's actually the safest place on this field to push upfield. I would say as a generality, the Dorito side's a bit slower and a little bit riskier to push. I think we are going to see the home. Yep, home taking a walk for Nasty. That just leaves one can player. His coach has some mercy on him. Nasty coach goes ahead and towels out, saving his cam player. Cam player's like, what? I could have done that. It's like, what, 4-1? What's the problem? All right, we got tempers flaring already. All right, NYX player made physical contact. I can't tell you whether or not it was with aggression. I mean, he certainly is unhappy. There's some level of aggression, but I don't know if there's enough to qualify as some kind of suspension. We'll find out. Our on-field head ref, Jason, has already told me with a bit of amazement that he's had to hand out warnings for overshooting. And that's it. That gentleman is going to get a suspension. He is out. All right, we are moving to the next game. NYX versus New York Jesters. NYX losing their first player, going up that snake inside. Home is going to get a check from Jesters. No flag. All right, NYX has managed to stabilize. They're now up into the Dorito 2. Dorito movement is a tough sledding on this field. You really have to take control of your own bumps. You're not going to get much help from your back player to do it. NYX is going to drop their mini tempo over on the Dorito side. Things are getting a little bit worse for NYX by the second. Jesters probably just going to elect to stay on the guns. They peel off another NYX. Now the home, and that's going to be it. Yep, D side, I was all alone just trying to defend it. Against an overwhelming tide of guns coming in at him. And he is going to get pulled. That's going to be it. Joyce is going to clear it out. Make sure there's no landmines waiting for them. Hit the buzzer. They're going to go up 3-0 on this match. So number 2, I believe it, and excuse me if I'm wrong, number 2, Wes Buell for Nasty may be facing a suspension right now. Thank you to Hornets Nest Extreme, located in New York. One of our sponsors this weekend. Check them out. They've got some tournaments coming up you can go participate in, 3-man and some 10-man mechanical. There is a lively discussion amongst the ref crew and coaches going on in the pits right now. I think as of right now, Wes Buell is looking at a suspension. I think he's trying to talk his way out of it, saying he touched me too, which I'm sure we can go back and look at the cameras and figure out what exactly happened. The ref staff already saying to us before that incident that they're already giving out warnings for overshooting. Some of these teams coming in a little bit hot first thing in the morning. Speaking of hot, it is going to be a broiler today. We're expecting about 90 degrees, which doesn't sound too bad, except you add in the humidity. It's going to be a rough session for these players. So a bit of luck if you're playing the 8 a.m. games. That's some mercy. We are in a bit of a technical delay, like I said, while they're trying to sort out the physical contact incident that happened before Nasty versus New York Wrecking Crew. I swear. If you're a coach listening to this, you should send your players off to some kind of debate school. I think it would really help dealing with the ref staff because every player turns into a master debater once they get caught doing something. It's amazing listening to the revisionist history that goes on after these points are over. All right. So they've got to sort out what level of penalty it is because the penalty is also going to come with a flag. So if they're sticking with what they got, then it's going to be a gross. Starting off, it's going to be a gross major, which means they're going to be down. If that was the last player, they're going to be down 3 bodies to start this game. So Nasty's going to have to start with 2 players in the box. On top of that, there's the question of the suspension, which right now that is what the call is, unless it changes. This is some drama at the 8 a.m. game. We're kicking it off immediately with drama. I will take the opportunity to thank another one of our sponsors during our downtime. That's pbwarehouse.com. Go check them out, pbwarehouse.com. They have JT Commander pants in that are going to be PB Warehouse branded. Support your local field. That's in Ware, New Hampshire. So thank you to PB Warehouse. Also, they are going to be one of the places that you can get your hands on that really limited edition Gem Series Pro Flexes that are hitting the market this weekend. All right, I see bodies coming off the field. I'm not entirely sure. I think they might be flipping the field. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be I guess we're a 5-on-3, so that's a major, not a gross major, or he was not the last body left alive. If Westfield was the last player left alive, they would be facing a 5-on-2. But I see 3 nasty players at the box, so he may not have been the last body to pull. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to get an update from the refs. All right, I just got an update from our head ref, Jason, who's doing a spectacular job out here. So the call is a minor suspension for the moment. They have to review rules, and they're going to review the tape to decide whether or not it should be a major. A minor suspension means he's ejected for the remainder of this match, but he's eligible to continue playing this weekend. And Internet Warriors, please correct me if I'm wrong. This is off of my memory. A major suspension would put him out for the remainder of the event. You know what we don't do in paintball is financial penalties. What if you start hitting people with $1,000 penalties if it would clean this up? So before that incident, like I said, the ref staff had already kind of exasperated, saying we're watching overshooting issues and behavior issues on the field, which is a bit amazing for an 8 o'clock game. And then it blossomed into an actual push and shove match. So I know for Crew and Nasty, the players on the field just want to get it on. Okay, don't misconstrue that phrasing. But the refs have got to settle it out. They've got to settle out what exactly the situation is. To be fair for the refs, this is not something that happens every game. Frankly, it doesn't happen every weekend. So they are having to review the rule book, make sure they're getting it right. Don't blame them. All right, I see Jason, our head ref, heading back onto the field. Here we go. We are back on track, barring any other sportsmanship issues. Yep, so we're going to start with 3 alive for Nasty. Not impossible to win, but a lot to ask, especially when you're going up against New York Wrecking Crew. Wrecking Crew comes in 4th overall right now for the season. Nasty does a smart thing. They elect to spread. They keep 1 at home. Their snake player is going to get shot immediately. Home player bounces out to the can. They're now 2 bodies live for Nasty. As the Nasty coach, you're just going to look to see if maybe they can pick up some cheap, easy kills, maybe a flag. Likely, if you see another Nasty player get shot, the towel's going to come out. There it is. So Nasty coach needing to save the clock. You know, it's one thing to face a 2-on-4 or 2-on-5 if it's mid-game it happens, but when the game starts with the team knowing that you're down 5-on-3, that is an extremely tough thing to fight out of. Good morning. I'm very lucky to be joined by Camila. Would you like to introduce yourself again to the crowd?
Hi, good morning. My name is Camila. I'm from Miami. I play for Tiki Zohana.
Ariano.
Ariano. Miami, Florida, because I know we're in Ohio, and there's a Miami, Ohio.
There's a University of Miami, Ohio, not to be mistaken with the University of Miami down in Florida. The students have a lot less suntan going on.
But a lot more snow days.
That's true. Actually, no, if you've not lived in the Midwest, we don't get a lot of snow days. Like
really?
You would need like 6 feet of snow to dump for society to shut down around here.
Really? Oh, wow, because I went to school for West Virginia. We got good snow days there.
You're lucky. All right, here we go. NYX on your left, Jesters on the right. Jesters up 3-0 already. Camilla, you've already missed a physical altercation on the field that resulted in a suspension.
Oh, my God. What teams?
Nasty versus NY versus Wrecking Crew. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What players?
Yeah, a little rough start to the morning.
Oh, my God. That's a way to start your Saturday morning. Oof.
I'd like to see some more fistfights in the WNXL. Can you make that happen?
Me?
Yeah, please.
Oh, no, we just like to shoot each other.
No, you need to up your game. Go straight to, like, throat punches. Everybody's wearing masks. That doesn't work.
We're girls. I think we're going to go a little lower than the throat.
Whoa, okay. Please, let's not name that it, but I get you.
But, oh, my God. I think the girls, we don't really get into physical altercations more so.
Then great. You're going to catch them by surprise. They won't expect a throat punch out of nowhere. All right. player peeling off for NYX. All right. NYX now into Snake 2. They're in the middle mini brick, and they're at the mini temple on the left side. For Jesters, we have Snake 2.
And it looks like their home player filled out to the Snake can.
Snake can. We have Dorito 1, soon to become Dorito 2 if he has his way about it.
Looks like he's trying to see if he can get there, but I think somebody's shooting a lane to hold him in.
I believe
the Beast.
Yeah, that'd be the mini temple in the back line. For those who don't speak Tiki.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. It's natural habit to call your team's call-outs on these bunkers. And you know what? I've seen some unification of bunker call-outs nowadays. A lot of teams use the same codes for a lot of the bunkers.
I've noticed that as well. So sometimes when we're talking, they're like, oh, yeah. And we all understand each other, even though we're all using slang and, like, call-outs. And we're like,
we know what you're talking about.
We get it.
All right, like we talked about earlier, this has hit that kind of low point in the game. This field layout seems to encourage this early kind of chaos of killing the breakout or a kill with a sloppy bump, and then the teams settle down.
And
there's the sloppy death, unfortunately for Extreme.
And it tends to stalemate a little bit until somebody dies and it breaks open the game again.
Then it's just a rush. Generally, that rush through the middle. Although these wedges on the tape line see a lot of action.
Did he just walk away?
That's almost disrespectful. He's just walking.
Gun down, too.
He's still doing it.
Oh, my God.
He's like, it's just another Saturday.
He could just drop and crawl and surprise him.
100%.
Oh, but he got that kill, and now he's going to run him down.
Now he's going to run. And he still didn't even get the kill.
No, his buddy got it from behind. Took it from him.
All
I
right.
was like, oh, but he got to walk up 2 bunkers, so I think that's enough.
Yeah, at least he saved his stamina for the next point. That was smart. That's smart paintball. All right, we are here with Camilla. I'm Matt Falby. We are in, I'm going to call it beautiful Fairfield, Ohio, but I'm biased because I was born
Oh, it's
here.
beautiful out here.
By the way, beautiful is the playing surface. These are legit grass soccer fields. They are perfect. And without rain this weekend, they're not even going to turn into mud pits.
I could tell that this looks like if it rains, it could get a little muddy out here because
Sure.
the soil seems really soft. But on the same point, the soil's soft and it's so nice to play on this ground. I was getting my teammates and I, when we were dropping, diving, sliding, we're like, this is really nice. You get a nice
Spongy.
slide and the ground's soft. It's great.
All right, Wrecking Crew on your left breaking out there. You got a 3-1 advantage over Nasty. About 10 minutes on the clock.
Oh, it looks like Nasty just lost Mingo off break.
So Nasty down 4-on-5. We are still doubled up at home for Wrecking Crew.
I think they might have lost, what was it, their Beast Runner? I think that's who they lost on this Nasty side. And then,
Crew is still 5 alive. They got the inside snake wedge.
but it looks like they're stuck there on that doubling of the home.
Yeah, I guess the best out for them is probably to go up the middle of that mini brick. Well, never mind.
they lost
They
it.
don't have to worry about being doubled up at home anymore.
Yeah, if you don't get out of that home quick, if you're outside players in the mini temple and the can, do not get out of those spots quick, and you can't break out from that home. It's not a good space to be when you're doubled up.
You're going to leave the home bunker. It's just how are you going to leave the home bunker?
You have to leave the
Yeah.
home bunker. If you stay there, especially doubled up, it's suicide.
Yeah, well, you're going to leave it. You're just going to leave it with your hand in the air walking off the field is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
you cannot stay doubled up there. I've seen teams triple it up for the first, 10 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
We're going to see a drop back by Rolfinson.
That's an interesting play to get the angle.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to shore up,
I think he's
slow
shooting
down.
at the S3 over there.
Yeah, they're snake
Yep,
side.
he got it. He got that kill.
Oh, nice. That is a great drop back then.
Mm-hmm.
Great work, Ian.
Oh, but they got that beast kill. That's
Yeah.
game.
Aiden Chaseman got up to this wedge, started doing damage, and that's enough. Nasty's going to towel out of that one. Nasty now in a 4-1 deficit. Even worse news for NYX, they're in a 4-0 deficit.
Oof.
They got 8 minutes left. Thank you to Paintball for Purpose. Paintball for Purpose started by Tammy Adamson. They are there for you if you need help talking about mental issues or struggles for athletes and veterans. Literally, they're not trying to take any money from you, so go check them out. They're trying to help you. All right.
All right, let's see.
Jesters on your left. Jesters already up 2-0 on the weekend, so a win here, and they're pretty well locked into the playoffs. For NYX, a loss here pretty much finishes their weekend. They're going to go down to 0-3. Standard spread. Wow, that Jester player standing up over top of the Dorito corner made me really nervous. Eventually thought better of it and ducked in.
Yeah. That's a bunker with too many people that can shoot at you to be trying to pop over the top for too long.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't stay there for long. He moves up to D1.
Yeah, I hope he's able to get up into the next one because I know that baby Dorito is not always the best spot to be in. If the girls don't like it and we're smaller, I can't even imagine the guys who are bigger people being in those bunkers.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. By the way, every layout has one bunker that's like the worst place to live in. I dub it the Bunker de Diablo, like just the bunker, or no, Bunker de Muerte. And right now, I think that baby Dorito is it.
Or when they actually finally cross that 50 wing here and they get into that
yeah.
the opposing side's Dorito 3.
That's a death trap. It seems like a great place to go to, but I don't know what it is. Players are dying out of it trying to finish the game from it. All right, Jesters have no reason to take any risky pushes here. 7 minutes is way too much to try to kill clock, but kill it all down to 0. But if they can win this one, it's 5-0, it's mercy, and the match is over. So for Jesters, just sit tight, use your guns, make them come at you. I am seeing still 5 alive for Jesters.
And they're all pretty much still in their primary bunkers, minus the Dorito and the Snake who've bumped out.
Yep. So we've got inside wedge over there for NYX. Trying to shoot cross, slow down the Snake.
I believe there might be a beast. I see the ref. Sorry, I mean a mini temple. I do believe I do believe I see a ref just staring at it. So there might be a player in there, or he's staring at the player in the second Dorito. Because there's a player in the second Dorito.
Yep. D2 is hot for.
I just see the ref on the back line, like looking like this. So I was like, is there somebody also right in front of him?
Do you follow ref's eyes on the field when you're playing?
Yes. I referee, so I
know the deal?
I know the deal, and I know how they're looking. Since they always try not to look directly at you, they try to do the side eye thing.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, I see what you're doing.
When I was reffing, I'm particularly careful not to track a player while they're running.
Yeah, I do that too. Stay back, let them move, and then follow them afterwards.
Look casual. Look real casual when you're wandering over to their new bunker. Shove your hands in your pocket, maybe whistle a little bit. That's
why I pace. I pace a lot when I ref, so that way it looks like I'm just walking back and forth.
Good idea.
So that way you never know if I'm actually following a player or I'm just walking.
That's a really good idea.
And I get shot less.
I don't believe you. It's impossible to get shot less while reffing.
That is so true.
All right, again, Jesters really, they don't need to take any risk here. They're just going to play conservative. You got D2 for Jesters. Now he's going to switch off down the tape. He's not really going to have any vision down the tape due to that wedge. So D2 for Jesters is going to switch back to his, I would say at his opposite mirror, the other D2, in this weird point symmetrical layout. So NYX is now approaching 4.5 minutes, and they're down by 4 points. It's a somewhat unrealistic situation to try to win this match or even bring this match back with down 4 points, but there's not a sense of urgency where they're even trying to save clock. Their players have pretty much just stopped moving. Now, you can give credit to Jesters for making that situation, but...
How many bodies do they have on the right?
For NYX, you've got that D2, you've got the inside wedge. We can confirm that. We'll have to see the camera angle, see if we can catch more bodies out there.
Because I feel like they think there's more bodies than there actually are, maybe.
For the Jesters, you think the count is off?
Maybe, because if there's only like 2 or 3 bodies left.
Yeah, well, I think we're looking at 3 bodies.
There's a flag. Let's
the middle,
close that out.
Middle brick is going to die. Take a friend with him. That, I believe, leaves 1 body. Can.
So what? Oh, there's a Dorito. There's a Snake 3 over there. I just saw the head over the tower.
You're correct. You're correct. So 2 players left alive. Now 1 player. Now 0 players. Yeah, Jesters don't fully believe it. I mean, even we had a hard time finding the bodies out there, so they're still hunting.
See, that's what I thought. Yeah, they lost track of the bodies for a second there.
I think you're right.
But good thing that they were able to kind of put together some form of an image, figure out at least where the bodies they knew were, close those out, and then just be cautious to finish the game out.
Well, that is going to finish the match there for Jesters. They're going to go up 5-0. That's a mercy win for NYX. Unfortunately, not only do they lose this match, that probably seals up their chances of getting into the playoffs for this weekend. There is always the next event. All right, thanks again to one of our sponsors, Kinetic. Kinetic can hook you up with some custom jerseys. They actually have in-house designers that can help you get your design onto cloth. All right, another somewhat desperate situation. We got Nasty versus New York Wrecking Crew. They got 8 minutes. That's a lot of time. They're down by 3. They're down by a body due to a suspension. Not really the situation you want to be in.
Are they? I still see 5.
Well, I meant down a bodies, and they have that minor suspension.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they had to start down on the box.
All right, Nasty on your left.
Oh, lost their home. One of their home players.
Wrecking Crew's up the middle to that brick. That all valuable center brick.
He was playing that home bunker a little big. At least that's what it seemed like off the break.
I think he knows that now. He's figured that one out.
The poor guy.
All right, Nasty's still pushing there up to the S2. During that moment, New York Wrecking Crew crawled. Yes, I said crawled from the mini wall to the inside wedge.
And looks like their corner, the Dorito corner, just bumped up into the baby Dorito. And it's called rub on the inside.
Mini Temple on the back line getting a check. for Wrecking Crew. Home is still alive. Wrecking Crew says 3 alive in the back. That's an interesting transition. Yeah, he went from the inside wedge into the snake for Wrecking Crew.
Hopping the beam. But it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 5 alive on Wrecking Crew, and it's a 45 right now going on.
I suspect that jump over the beam, his intent is to now get up to the snake Dorito and then cross it up and again act as just a lane blocker.
Baby Dorito just got plucked
got.
off. Oh, that's a far fill
Yeah.
from that Mingo. That's a good fill from Mingo out there to get wide and try to see if they can not let them
push him. That said, I mean, Nasty's the one that has to do the pushing right now. They're at 6 minutes, 40 seconds, and they're down by 3 points.
You gotta go.
They don't have to be in desperation mode quite yet for winning points, but...
Backtrack, interesting. Snake 3 on Nasty side just backtrack back into the S2.
More back
That's
filling.
interesting. Oh.
And then slide sideways.
So he filled back from the snake, like the middle snake wing, back into the W, and then across into the little juice box in the middle.
And while that was going on, Nasty managed to shoot out the middle brick of New York Wrecking Crew. I believe it's the snake player from Nasty that caught him.
That's good. It seems like they still have a Dorito corner and where's the other body? And a home.
Yeah, we got
for the Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking Crew. I'm seeing D1, the baby. They got home, and they've got a snake presence.
So are they at a 34 at this moment? Is that what I think it is?
If in favor of Wrecking Crew, I think you might be right. I think it might be a 34 situation. Nasty playing it smart. They're doing good movement to come up with different angles, and it's gotten them some kills. Time is starting to be an issue. We're at 5.5 minutes. They're down by 3 points. Uh-oh. Playing over the top in the juice box. Got that Nasty player clipped. That is already a small bunker.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been in that bunker. I do not like that. I don't hate it, but I try to get out of it.
You could, the thing about bunkers like that is like, oh, it's great. It's a great position because I can shoot both ways and control both sides. That also means you can get shot from multiple directions.
For a solid second, I thought he was going to shoot the guy walking out for a second because out of reaction of like, oh, body.
It happens. I mean, you
can't give mad reaction.
We're going to lose our Dorito corner for Nasty, leaving just this snake Dorito. And there's a bunkering coming for him. He doesn't know yet. Oh, that was a bonus.
That was.
Well, to be fair, the bunkering player couldn't see him behind the bunker raise his hand. He didn't know he was already out.
Yeah.
So, I really am like all about sportsmanship. I don't harbor any hate towards my opponent. It's a lot like WNXL. I love the vibe that you guys bring to the field, but I will give a little bit of cover fire, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. At this includes you. At this level of sport, your reflexes to snap shoot and hit somebody coming at you or whatever has to be so fast that when you see somebody running down the sidelines, whether they're in or out, they've called themselves out, they're running to their pit, and you snap and shoot at them. You in this sport at this level, you cannot stop and think, gee, is that a valid target? Should I? No, you have to shoot first and figure that out a second later.
Oh, I've practices. I've accidentally shot people walking out because I see a body thinking it's somebody trying to fill or something. So I snap and I shoot and they put their hands up and they're like, what?
Why?
And I'm like, I literally go, I'm so sorry.
So, one of the secrets is if you're walking off the field, you should walk. If you're running, you're going to draw fire. Now, I see teams that actually run bodies down, dead bodies they are told to run to their pit to draw eyeballs away from the field, in which case you get shot,
I always run. I always try to run in front of one of my girls that they see me.
Yep.
So it's like, okay, you saw me. We're aware. Point. You're aware. I'm gone. Because sometimes I'm so far up the field, if I just hop over and out, just straight to the nearest exit, they won't see me. They'll miss me. So I tend to run backwards and around.
Just to make sure you get in front of a few
Somebody
eyeballs.
sees me. Somebody will see me, call me to my teammates, and I usually run to also draw fire.
So I have a different tactic, and that's sneak off the field very quietly and then blame the refs for a bad call. I don't want my teammates to see I die. I'm already a bad enough reputation as a player. I don't need the extra knowledge. All right, Wrecking Crew in a commanding lead. They're on the verge of mercying out Nasty. Nasty not only needs to come up with a solution, they need to come up with 4 more solutions in very short order.
Oh, that's an interesting. Oh, I think
pack.
he got clipped on the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to check his pack.
But you know what? He ran past the ref.
No one saw it.
No one saw it. To be fair, Ray is. I also don't. He's not aware that he's got a pack hit.
It was on the top of his pack too, so
Yeah.
it would have been hard to see. We couldn't even see it when he got in. We just saw because we saw the splat on
Right.
it.
Yeah. At the moment.
But you can't see it.
No.
It's almost on the top inside because he was running pretty low.
Again, I don't think he knows.
The issue is if he hits that buzzer,
Yeah.
they're gonna find it. Oh,
Well,
but he just got out.
Yeah, he's on a suicide mission.
Okay,
up
so
the
that's
middle.
fine.
Situation resolved. All right. Wrecking Crew 4 alive. Snake player attempting to wrap. Another kill out of that Dorito for Wrecking Crew. They shoot the nasty Dorito.
Oh, I heard them. They said kill 3, and then they said their team name. That's getting everybody's attention, saying we got this in the bag. Ease it out.
You are familiar with the codes?
No, it's just something that I've seen a lot of teams do when they are on the bodily advantage, that they have like the 3rd kill and there's only 2 people left and they're still up in bodies like a lot. I hear them usually, a lot of teams like to say each other the team name to like get everybody on the consensus of like, hey, we're doing good. We've got control of the game.
So it sounds like it's a bit of a psychological trick to get your teammates back on like the same mindset.
Page. Yeah.
Bunkering move into the Snake Dorito for Wrecking Crew. They're now willing to trade bodies to finish this out.
Yeah, they just had a home guy all the way in the back, so they sent somebody out to just close that out. Trade it out and let the home just run out and...
To him, that is it. Wrecking Crew is going to mercy this one out, so we saw 2 mercies in the first game today. New York Wrecking Crew is going to go to 3-0. Nasty's going to drop to 1-2 on the weekend. On the other side of the match, we got New Jersey Jesters that went up 3-0 on the back of a mercy win over NYX. NYX has dropped to 0-3, likely out of playoff contention. Well, that was an interesting start to the day. Fist fights. That's all I'm asking for, Camilla.
Oh.
Get me fist fights in the WNXL. Boost my ratings. That's all I
We do
want.
have a boxer on our team.
There you go.
Trust me, no one messes with her.
Little fake hi-fi switched into yeah. All right. Who's your first game today?
So I think our first game today is with the Angels, and then we play the Lights after.
Nice.
We
All
have
right.
some late games today. I think it's 2 and then 5.
Did you guys go 1-1 yesterday? Is that true?
Yeah, 1-on-1.
Okay. Still in contention for playoffs.
I think right now we're second in our bracket.
Yeah.
So we're crossing our fingers, and we're just trying to like be in the right mindset for these next 2 matches, because it would be we're looking at Sunday Club, and it would be our first time ever making it.
Nice.
And we're very excited. So we're all just trying to like stay cool, calm, collected, and just
Go do business.
Play some paintball.
All right. Last chance to shout out a teammate or call them out for their failures.
No, I'm not going to call nobody out for failures. I'm going to call out for their success. So my sister-in-law plays on the team with me. She's usually the girl behind me and covering my back. I trust her blindly. Natasha Lopez, love that girl. That girl has shot people. I've seen people try to run me down, and as I see their barrel coming at me, she's like behind me and goes, ta-ta-ta.
No, you don't.
I literally saw a guy barrel at me, about to pull the trigger, and next thing I know, he goes, and gets shot up like crazy. She had my back yesterday, like crazy. She was holding zones and keeping me alive, like
right.
She was doing work. I'm
Shout out to Natasha Lopez. Good work. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
I wish you luck with the rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, folks. We'll be back in a
guys.
couple more minutes.